Welcome to the Orange City Literature Festival's Book Review Podcast. My name is Afra Iqbal and I'm thrilled to kick off this new segment for the students of Nagpur. This year marks the 6th edition of the Orange City Literature Festival and we are delighted to provide students a platform to share their favorite books and foster a vibrant culture of reading. Joining us today is Ms. Shreya Sirpure from the Era International School in Besa. She will be speaking to us about her favorite book, a timeless classic that is Hind Swaraj by the father of our nation, Mr. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So, firstly, Shreya, a very warm welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling a little bit nervous, but very excited too.
That's lovely. So let's jump right in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the book that you've chosen, Hind Swaraj by Mahatma Gandhi, he's the father of our nation, a very eminent personality. So, he has said a lot of quotes, a lot of wise words over the years. Is there any quote in particular about Mahatma Gandhi that you like?
My personal favorite would be that be the change that you wish, that you want in this world.
Okay, that's a very profound quote indeed. So, if I were to ask you, what change would you like to bring to the world?
I would like to remove the poverty in our whole world and would like to stop the animal abuse that is currently happening in today's world.
Well, Mahatma Gandhi definitely championed all of these causes.
Yes.
Social upliftment is what he always championed for. So is that a reason why you chose this book? Are you inspired by his words?
Yeah, I'm very much there's a various values that he have conveyed to us through his messages and his stories and writings like non-violence, spirituality, faith, self-reliance, etc.
That's a very lovely thing to say, obviously. Now, the book itself is a historical account from our independence struggle. If I were to ask you, you must be familiar with the Indian freedom struggle, right? So if you could take part in any movement, let's say, in the Indian freedom struggle, which one would it be?
It would be the Swadeshi movement.
Okay, and why the Swadeshi movement?
As we know that in the Swadeshi movement, our country has boycotted all the foreign products from importing in our country. So this has supported our nation and had preserved our traditional moral values and cultures.
Okay, so you definitely resonate with that bit of preserving our nation's interest and cultural values. That's a very lovely thing to say. At a very young age, you have a tremendous insight into these things. Now, aside from Mahatma Gandhi, you just mentioned that you really liked one of his quotes. Is there any other freedom fighter that you really look up to?
It would be Lakshmibai.
Okay, and why?
As she's very fearless and has fought for her people against British. So it would be Lakshmibai.
She was definitely a very brave woman, the Rani of Jhansi. And there was also a movie made on her. Have you watched that movie?
Yes, I have watched.
Manikarnika. You have watched. How did you like it?
It was very interesting. Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Now, the book itself, as I've mentioned time and again, is about history, historical accounts. A lot of children do not like reading history. They find it a little tedious. So if you had to recommend this book to somebody, what would you say? How would you get somebody to pick the book up and read it?
I know that history is very difficult and it's very difficult to understand, but I'd surely recommend this to my friends as it will provide them with moral values and many principles like spirituality, non-violence. That's why.
Okay, and these are very, very important values to have in today's world, definitely. So, do you typically refer to these kinds of books, historical accounts, or do you also like other genres of books?
So this is my first time reading something that is related to politics. I usually read horror and thriller storybooks.
Okay, what do you like about these books?
It creates suspense and it's very excited to read the end part.
That's definitely there. I've read a few horror books myself. You're very right in saying that. So, moving forward, are there any books on your book list, on your reading list? Is there anything you'd like to read?
I would really like to read the Autobiography of Nelson Mandela.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah, as he has also struggled throughout his life against the protest, against the white majority.
Yes, in South Africa. That was a very, very important movement in history, yes. So you're on the right direction. I can see that you would make a very visionary leader in the future, hoping so. Okay, so with this, one last question. If you could rephrase the name of the book, what would you call it?
It would be like the preservance of our Indian values.
Indian values. And what about preservation of Indian history?
Yeah,
history as well, yes, because our history is very dense, it's very deep, and it's very important for youngsters to know. So, with this, I'd like to wrap up today's segment of the podcast. It was very nice hearing from Shreya. A big thank you to Shreya for being with us and for sharing her very valuable insights on the book. It is truly inspiring to see students, young readers like her, take up such important books that enrich students' minds about our Indian freedom struggle. Now, in another news for our listeners, there's great news that you can visit the Orange City Literature Festival on the 22nd, 23rd and 24th of November at Chitnavis Center. You will have the chance to meet hundreds of authors and delve into the magical world of books. So that's it from me for today in today's podcast. Thank you for joining in, and don't forget to tune in next week where we will have another bunch of talented students from different schools who will be sharing their stories and their favorite books with us. So until then, keep reading, keep exploring, and happy listening.